So, welcome to you, Alex. Thank you for joining me today to talk about our experience together and how our energies came together to provide you with a huge transformation and deepening into your legacy work that you're here to offer and create and birth. So, I have some questions to ask you about our time together. Is that good?
Yes, that's beautiful. I'm so happy to be here. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Alexandria Lita Miner. I am a feminine embodiment coach and feminine leadership mentor. So I'm here today because I really want to talk about my experience working with Laura and having her support me on a retreat that I offered recently.
Amazing. Thank you. Alex is an absolute powerhouse, and I'm so honored that you felt that call and that acceptance in with our the way that our energies work together. It's been beautiful. So,
Mm.
okay. So, let me ask you these beautiful questions, and I just wanted to say thank you for coming up. It's so important that you are able to share this experience, as people need that. People need to understand how that feels, right? Because it is niche and bespoke what I'm offering, but
I
so
think that's what
needed.
it is. It's not as much an explanation.
Mm,
It's an experience of it, and you can't really explain it unless you've or talk about it unless you've experienced it.
thank you. I'm excited. Okay, I'm excited to hear what you like, what you want to say. Okay, so what was it like having me support you in the field, on the land, in the space that you held, within your energy and slightly outside of your energy? How did that feel with you during the experience that we had together and during your retreat?
Mm. It felt just like grounding and nourishing. So there was a particular moment when I was doing a healing session with somebody and you were with me, like you weren't, really like quote unquote a part of the healing session. But you were there, you were supporting me and you were supporting her while I was moving through that healing session with her. And I don't even know if I would call it a healing session. We were we were moving energy essentially. And I could feel myself taking on her energy and almost like I don't know what the word is, like out of body a little bit again and again. And then I could feel myself being like, okay, reground, reground. And I was regrounding myself. And also, I felt you helping me do it like over and over and over again. And that was so helpful. So helpful because I think when we work with energy, sometimes we can get lost in that energy. So having somebody reground you again and again and again and like nourishing your energy again and again and again, because I think there was also moments where it was like I didn't have all of my energy because I was obviously using it to support this person. And it's like you kept refilling it for me and refilling it for me and refilling it for me. You were like, reground, reground, refill, reground, refill, reground, refill. And it didn't look like that, but that's what it felt like. So my capacity to support this person just got bigger and bigger and bigger because I wasn't emptying this reservoir. It was like this reservoir had a stream coming into it. So it was like you were my stream and you kept refilling it so that it was like, okay, this reservoir is here, people can eat from it, but it's continuously being refilled and not just by me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, beautiful. And I loved when this happened, it was an intuitive creation when I'm working that is guided between me, my team, creator, source, whatever you want to call that beautiful energy of oneness. It was guided and shown to me, but it's also very much dependent on like people like yourself, whether it's seen or unseen. So whether you want that to be present with your clients there, or you want that to be on the edge, almost held outside so that it's completely for you, is also something that is important to me, because at this point I'm not running that retreat with you. I'm not co-hosting. I am completely there for you and what other directive there is that you need for that experience and that portal, that transmission that your work is. So yeah, amazing. Thank you. Um, were there any specific moments apart from what you've just talked about there? Was there anything else during the retreat where you felt especially supported or almost surprised and delighted during that time?
Mm. That was definitely the biggest moment for me, honestly. Um, that was definitely the biggest moment. But what I do find nice as well, as someone that's holding the retreat, you're holding the energy and you are the one that's showing up in the conversation. You are the one that is putting the energy out there. You are the one that has to time keep. You are like, there's so many things happening, and it's so rewarding and it's so beautiful and it's a choice. And also having someone else there to even just drop in and just like have a little bit of conversation with the person or people that you're supporting, having someone else there to cover you. Like it's not like, you're covering and you're running the retreat, but it's like you're able to hold the energy when I need a moment,
Mm.
and I think as a retreat leader, having someone do that is so helpful because so many of us that hold retreats, and I know you're going to resonate with this, you feel like you have to be on all the time. And by the time you hit the bed at the end of the night, you're like, I'm so tired. I just poured so much of my energy, so much of my love, so much nourishment into these people. And I'm so grateful that I have the capacity to do that. And also I'm tired and let's just be honest, like we need some time. We need some like nonverbal time. We need some time to just like have our own 10-minute walk in nature to reground, to come back to ourselves. And like that's another aspect that I think you bring to the table of that nourishment is you're able and you have the capacity to hold the energy, like quote unquote, hold the fort down when someone needs to take a step back as a leader, because it's just as important for that leader to be nourished by you with that energy and also to have a moment to be able to nourish themselves in the way that they desire.
Right, thank you. Because again, just so important, it's so common after holding a 3, 4, 5, 7 day retreat that you have a short window to turn around, to close down the retreat, to get on your plane, to get back or to go wherever you're going back to normality or to life or onto your next project, right? Maybe a next talk, another retreat. Maybe there is a family occasion that's waiting for you once you finish that week of work. And whilst I know most retreat leaders would always facilitate that integration time after the retreat, sometimes that's also not enough. And to have someone holding,
Most times it's not.
right? Um,
We overestimate the amount or underestimate the amount of time that we need to to replenish
mm,
every single time.
Massively. And it's so to have your energetic landscape held, nourished, supported, and structured in a way that is in congruence with the land that you're working on, because that's a big
Mm.
piece of it. If you're holding a retreat on land that's had work done on it from a previous retreat, from another facilitator that's come and done retreat before you, or it's had something else happen on it, maybe even decades ago, centuries ago, that will show up in your work. You can trigger stuff from the land with the work that you're doing. So it's
Mm.
really important to have the land honored, blessed, prepared, and attuned to what the outcome, the legacy work that you're imprinting in the now to support and hold you through that. And that's also part of the work, like making sure that that is in the right framework to support the work that you're doing, that it's honored, that it's blessed, that it has a part of you within that, and also that it's closed down at the end. So when the retreat finishes, everyone's gone home, you're integrating, maybe like trying to put hair back in or whatever that's like fallen out. whatever it is that you're like pulling yourself back in from, there's someone there working the land, working the energy, working the field to again fuse and alchemize with yourself so that when you leave, it's left in the state that is meant to be, in
Yeah.
harmony with what it was originally, or maybe a better alchemized version, to hold the next people that come on. This is the intention, and this is the impact that we're talking about with this work, because it goes beyond holding a retreat and moving on. If you are a leader, you're a new earth leader, you are someone who is looking into legacy work and delivering that, there is a bigger capacity piece which involves the fields of which you work in, so that you are able to create a deeper ripple effect without having to work harder. This is about having the right people around you, making sure that your energy is clean, clear, potent, and strong, so that you can deliver in those next stages. That's why it's so important to me. And this is my absolute zone of genius. It is encoded in me, in my field, to alchemize that naturally, as well as with the work that I'm here to do, with the intention that I have to hold, and with my legacy to provide a deeper impact, a deeper level of impact for leaders who are working in this way. So thank you for expressing that, because it's just so important, um beyond.
Having you like, I mean, I think just having you there without even you trying, your energy is very nourishing. Like that's something that's very natural for you. Um, but in terms of the working with the land, I mean, this is part of the reason that we have you coming to Scotland next summer for the retreat. And like I don't remember if we have you coming to Italy or not, but we're definitely having you come to Scotland. And I mean, there's thousands of experiences that have been held on that land in Cairngorms Park, right? Like thousands. There's the Jacobite Rising, there's wars, there's so many experiences that have been there. So having someone come in, cleanse the energy, clear the energy, bring the energy up to, I don't even know if you would call it like its highest and best good, but bring it up, just bring up the frequency of that land that we're working on. I feel like one is so healthy and helpful for those of us that are on that land and is going to completely change our experience of the retreat on that land. And two, I feel like it's the missing piece that a lot of people don't have for their retreats. So it's like we go into our retreats thinking we're creating it in such a holistic way, but it's like I feel like a lot of us have almost this like Pac-Man this Pac-Man circle. It's not a full circle, and you're bringing in this little piece here, and you're saying, okay, no, now this is a full circle because we're working with the body, the heart, the mind, the soul, and the land. Not just the body, the heart, the mind, the soul. We are a part of this land. So I think you bringing in that piece is it's what's missing for a lot of people that hold these retreats, and it's going to shift the way that the experience of the retreat unfolds for the leader and for those that are there to experience the retreat.
Amazing, thank you. And like beyond retreats, events,
Yeah.
um anything that involves a a piece of attunement that is bigger and into legacy and impact requires, or can require, a level of nourishment to it. And this is where my zone of genius is, right?
Absolutely.
I'm
And just like I think, like I said, just nourishment in general, it's something that comes so naturally to you. And we're all energy. So if I can feel your nourishing energy without you trying as a human, so can the land,
mm, thank you.
you know? Like everyone and everything can feel that frequency, can feel that nourishment. And especially with you coming in with that intention of of I don't even know, like of nourishment, of community, of support, of pouring love into the land, pouring love into the people. Um, I think it's going to change the game for a lot of people that are creating their legacy in this way.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And that's so super exciting for me because this is where we're really shifting. It's wonderful. Love it.
It's so you, like so
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
I can't see you doing anything different, to be honest.
Thank you. Oh. Okay, a few more questions for you.
I will try to answer them.
So, how did you feel afterwards? So once the retreat finished, you'd done your work. Was there any differences in your usual post-retreat, post-event experience that you noticed?
Yeah, I was so much less exhausted. Like I was so much less exhausted.
Mm,
And I think also just, and this you know what, it sounds bad. And also, I know that the people that are watching this are going to totally understand. Felt so much less exhausted, and I didn't feel annoyed.
mm,
There's things that happen at retreats where you're like, I'm annoyed that this happened, or I'm annoyed with what they said, or I'm annoyed the way that I missed this time frame of how I was supposed to do this.
mm.
Like I was relaxed during the retreat. I was relaxed after the retreat. I didn't have to take 6 days to recover from the retreat. And like I said, like I wasn't stuck in the annoyance. Like I wasn't like, oh, I had this person that came and they said this and grr. Like, I didn't have that, and I didn't have any sort of annoyance with things going wrong or didn't how they weren't supposed to be. Like it was just relaxed and peaceful.
Amazing, amazing. And again, the experience of being held afterwards, when the guests have gone home or they've packed up and they've left, and you are still integrating, to have the a experience, a healing, a sense of community and ceremony afterwards as the retreat finishes, or the event that is just for you, your energy, and closing things down, it, again, is something missed. We know to do that ourselves, but actually to have someone hold that for you in the energy of the work that you've just been doing is second to none. And again, this is where people that are looking to deepen that impact and will really resonate with that, and they'll be like, that's
Well,
exactly what I need.
and that's it, isn't it?
Um,
So many of us that work with energy, that are healers, that are magicians, that are witches, that are all of these things, and we're pouring all of this energy, all of this love, all of this nourishment, all of this patience, all of this into other people. We forget to do the same for ourselves. And I don't know any other any healer, any energy worker, any light worker, any I don't know anyone else that does the things that I do or similar that doesn't have that same issue of I forgot to take care of myself again. I forgot to pour this into myself, and oh no, I'm running out of water in my cup.
and also, like I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go and get a massage. I'm gonna go and do something for myself, or I'm gonna spend some time. But from my experience as well, running retreats, sometimes that's not enough, and it's more than the physical, tangible rest. It's the
Yeah.
energetic, it's the attunement with where you've been working, it's the letting go of the work and the reclamation of the soul that bored all to provide their legacy work. That's
Mhm.
that's in a way, there's this new kind of frequency of service and sacrifice there, right? That transcends the wealth issue that we've worked on. It bleeds into other areas and then bleeds into life. And again, that is so important for me, that the people that are holding and changing the earth are supported multidimensionally in the right way, so that they get to go on and carry on whilst they're resting and integrating and taking that time out and acclimatizing back to life, or whatever their life or the next thing is, but also holding that next level of impact is it's for the leaders, it's for those people making a change. So it's so important.
It is that next level of impact. And I think that you and I have had this conversation before as well around, you know, when you are in this kind of work, when you're doing this kind of work with people, and I mean, no matter what, you're leaving energetic imprints on people. And also, when you're doing this kind of work for people and with people, there is an energetic imprint that happens. So, you physically nourishing yourself is incredible, and that's great. And we love that you're doing yoga. And also, there is still this holding, right, that can happen. And I know that's even happened for myself. Even though I am able to clear my energy, even though I'm able to cleanse my energy, there's still, oh my goodness, this person went through this crazy traumatic experience. They just shared it with me and it's stuck in my energy
Hmm.
because I helped them clear it. And you know me, like I'm a transmuter. So a lot of the time, people share their pain with me and I transmute it into something else. And also, there's times when it gets a little bit stuck. And then I'm stuck in this loop that I took on from supporting them. So having someone make sure, okay, this energy has been cleaned, it's separated, this is your energy, that's their energy, they still got what they needed and now you're getting what you need so that you can continue to have the impact that you desire to have.
Right. Amazing. And the team as well. Like, if this is obviously, we had a very intimate retreat experience together, but there are also the retreat um, structures where there are teams involved, where we have co-hosts or a collaboration of people that are delivering potent legacy-led work from, open-hearted, soul-led, blueprint, here we are, purpose-led work. And there's a team that's tied into that as well. And this doesn't go, it can be just for one host or a pair of hosts or beyond, but it could also be for the team that are supporting as well. So that's also part of this framework that gets to be discussed. And this is why, again, it's bespoke. We have so many nuts and bolts that can be talked about and supported during that space, and it can also be left very fluid. So
And you could be someone that's not even like a co-host, but you're a photographer and you're coming in and like, guys, this is energy, right? Like, so you're still going to be influenced. You could be a chef that's at the retreat. Like, I know for my retreats, I have a photographer that's there, I have a chef that's there, and I know that both of them, I want them to be energetically supported as well.
that's
Even though they're not running the retreat with me.
but they're part of that portal, that
Yeah.
transmission that's happening, that's that's destined, that's in the plan. They are part of that, and that's it's integrity at the end of the day, isn't it?
Hmm.
Oh, these conversations are so bloody juicy. Um, yeah. Right. Okay,
So
so
here for it.
are juicy. So what would you say to any other either retreat, event, new earth um, leader that is looking for nourishment and support, or considering something like this within their offering capacity or purpose-led work?
I mean, I think I've said it.
Yeah.
I think I've said it quite like I am very much like this is something that is going to take you to another level with your legacy, with your in-person work, and also it's going to increase your capacity. So it's like, and this sounds a little bit silly, but it's like when you're on the yoga mat and you're doing all of these yoga poses and you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna get to this part of the pose if I just keep pushing myself and pushing myself and pushing myself. And then it takes you so much longer to get there because you either get hurt, you hurt yourself because you're pushing yourself so hard, or you're out of alignment because you're pushing your body into a place that it's not meant to be yet. But when you accept the support, you bring in the blocks, you bring in the straps, you're going to get there so much faster because you're expanding your capacity. And this is what it's like with having Laura in, right? You're expanding your capacity because you're bringing in this support and then it gets bigger and bigger. And you're going to do that so much faster with that support. rather than I'm going to push, 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 push. It's like, no, you have this other person in that's opening. I think that's kind of the difference. There's an opening and an expansion rather than a push and then a contract, if that makes sense.
Mm,
And it's
that's
happening so much faster.
mm, right. That's such a beautiful way of explaining it. Thank you. Because it is. It is. And I think, the depth in which our clients and the clients from your retreat and from my previous retreats have opened up has been quite significant in the breakthroughs that they've had with the held experience, being met with the breakthroughs that they had. And I know that most people will resonate with that and having these moments of clarity or shifts or transformation from these spaces. But when it is held on a expanded level, their shifts are expanded, but they're also held with the most loving, because it's another part of me. The nourishment isn't just about obviously the event, it's about the way that I love and hold that love and compassion and kindness for you, your events, and your people. That's again really, really important to me, that it's all witnessed, it's all met, and it's all held in the most loving, I said it, kind and compassionate way, so that also ripples out into the way that they've been held. And sometimes that can be with me being present, it can be with me being in the unseen, but still working. So that's also really important.
Mhm.
Okay. Anything else that you'd like to add before we kind of round this up?
That's me. Like, I mean, I already have you coming in next summer. So, so hire Laura.
Amazing. Do you want to talk about your event next summer?
My two retreats.
Mm.
Sure, I would love
Oh,
to.
nice.
So I'll talk about the two retreats that will be happening, particularly in Scotland, because you're for sure going to be at those ones. I haven't fully released either yet, to be honest, but they're both going to be in Cairngorm National Park in Scotland, which is one of the most beautiful places that you can be in Scotland. It feels like the untouched wilderness. Like that's what it is. You're surrounded by forest, you're surrounded by trees, you're surrounded by like animals, like nature. Like it's so beautiful. And I'll be holding an identity breathwork certification. So identity breathwork is my modality, and that will be 11 days where you will come in and you will get certified as a breathwork, identity breathworks facilitator. And what I love about this is because I see everywhere that there's these like breathwork certifications online, there's this certification online, there's this certification online, and that's incredible. And also, I think that there's so much to be said for doing this work in person and going to the depths together in person, cultivating this connection with yourself alongside other people that are doing the same thing, and then bringing that connection forward with each other. And also, I have a photographer coming in. So, what I love about this is y'all are going to be leaving with pictures of you doing this work. So,
Mm,
you're going to be able to share this with the world right away.
mm,
Not just like, okay, I did it online. Like, it's just such a different frequency, in my opinion. So that will be the first retreat that I'm holding next June. And then June. And then I also have Feminine Reborn. This is a retreat that is just so near and dear to my heart that I have been working on for a while now because it started off as an online program. And like I said, it just didn't feel right being online. I would be denying my soul if I offered it online. It is meant to be in person, it's meant to be felt. And it's exactly what it says it is. It's rebirthing the feminine that is within you, the true goddess that is within you, rather than living in this should, living in this I'm supposed to, living in this have to, living in this I'm responsible for, and coming back to this is my heart, this is my truth, this is my energy that expands me. And when I expand, when I'm in pleasure, the world expands with me and the world experiences my pleasure. So that is the those are the retreats that Laura's going to be there for that I'm very
Yes, I
excited
can't
for.
wait. I can't wait because also there's a witnessing aspect to this as well. We didn't even touch on this in the questions, but having someone witness your work, having someone witness the transformation of your clients, your soul contracts that are there with you is also something that is incredibly sacred. But having someone reflect that back to you is
So sacred.
it's un I don't have a word. I don't have a word for that. Having someone reflect back the transformation that you're doing real time is also reconfirming, re-expanding, and re-solidifying during the process, which again is deepening and expanding that capacity piece. So, excuse me, that's also, I can't wait to witness that for you and for your wonderful women that are going to come and
I think
experience that.
it's like an anchoring. It's an anchoring almost into this reality because we're seeing it in the energetic, we're feeling it in the energetic, but when it's witnessed, it's this transformation, it's this alchemization in the physical, and it's anchored. It's anchored in the physical, if that makes sense. And like that's kind of how I see it. I'm sure there's another word, but
But that's your experience, and that's beautiful. It's beautiful.
thank you.
Because for others it's been enlightening, and I'm sure obviously it's been enlightening for you, but what you took from it was the anchoring, which is probably what you needed, right? So
Mhm.
thank you so much for coming and sharing your experience, because again it is a bespoke service. It is something that is, I hope, going to be rippled out into this wonderful community of people who are creating change, and it needs to be talked about so that it can be understood for other people looking for that level of impact. So I really appreciate you coming and talking about not only your experience but your offerings, your sacred offerings that are coming up as well. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm so happy I got to come today and, you know, and speak on this experience because like I said, it's the missing piece for a lot of people. So
Mm,
thank you for offering what you're offering and having the courage to change the path.
thank you, darling. Thank you. Okay, so we'll leave it here. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.